He's trying to do he's trying to do the transition to Tir nOg anyway.
So
no.
Yeah. Hey, there it is. It's right behind me, and it launched today.
He came prepared. Oh, yeah, wait. There's somebody behind you. Were you expecting a special guest there? Oh my God!
Hey!
Welcome in the Gumbo Overlord.
I thought for a second you were going to say my baby was behind me again.
That's what I was going for. I was doing some shtick, but I wanted you to look behind you. Speaking of that, we should talk about the game he mentioned, don't you think, Steve?
Sure.
Let's see if I can throw it up there.
Okay.
We've got a Kickstarter today for a fantastic game. At least it was number one of my most anticipated. I just haven't played it yet. And that is Tir nOg. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, fine. You can call it whatever you want as long as you back it.
I am a backer.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, that one actually did really, really well. It just came out this year, and we, made a lot of decisions that were new for Grand Gamers Guild. We had a lot of dedicated copies that we wanted to get out to people so they could review it ahead of time. Isaac was great. Isaac's been at a bunch of conventions showing it off, really getting ground roots anticipation for it. And Mark, who
you don't have to regret anything. Glenn's going to tell you a special secret about how you can get your very own copy of Tir nOg.
Oh, yeah. Well, it just involves going to Paris and sneaking in the luggage of BJ. Okay.
No.
Yeah. And so Isaac was doing a great job getting it out there. Everyone was, Jason too, and Mark Spector, who heads up Grand Gamers Guild. I talked to him. He's a fine guy, and we talk every day. I mean, about everything. He's really a brother more than anything else. And we were really lucky through our community, who's incredibly supportive and generous with their energy. They got us onto the top of the Origins hot list, which got us onto BGG videos, and I think Chaz Marlin did a video on us. And I want to say, I'm not sure if this is true, but I think of the top 10 or 11 games that were the hot games for Origins, Grand Gamers Guild had a hand in 7 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was pretty good for Gen Con too. And so what's been happening is the games have been selling out. I mean, the game just came out in May and it's sold out, every copy. We don't even have copies to give people to review or stores to look at. I mean, everything everywhere is gone, which is awesome. And the best part about it is that it delivers. So everyone who has it is enjoying it, and they're saying great things about it. The art is great. The way it plays out is really interesting. I didn't really expect this, but even Tom Vassell, I did not send him a copy, but he was saying that he was playing it and he found like the gameplay really fascinating. Something, along those lines. Really wonderful words. Alex, Boardgames Go, just reviewed it. He said, I really like this game. I mean, like, everyone is really loving it. So what we're doing now, and isn't that a great cover?
It is. This is, to be honest, this is what got it on the list for me when I was preparing the Gen Con pre-list. Yeah. It's that cover was so striking. I was like, I gotta know what's about this game. But it's the gameplay that intrigued me, though. And I'd like you to, tell the chat crew, what's this game about? How does it play?
First, I want to talk about your first point. Mark and I talk a lot about like making games visually attractive. That is your opening salvo into any relationship with the customer. It's a visual medium, how they're going to find out about it. So let's make that. I love that you're showing pictures that I took, and this is like my living room. So
is that really?
Yeah, that's like literally right behind me. But yeah, it was weird, like seeing myself on Rado. I'm like, that's my kitchen table. That's awesome. So
are you Marcel P on BGG?
Whatever it is. Yeah. Is that? Oh yeah. Keep going. Let's see. some fine art. Marcel, man, you get my thumbs up. That's good stuff. But anyway, I took
look at this
similar
artwork,
pictures. You'll
Steve.
see them up there. But the art is really unique. It stands out. It draws you in. And then the gameplay, right? So what is the gameplay? The premise of the story, and what I really love about Grand Gamers Guild now, certainly going forward, is that in the gameplay, the game is not the star of the show. The gameplay is the guide that brings you, the hero, to the amazing, through the story into the amazing conclusion that you want. And so in this game, you're playing as storytellers, trying the gates to Tir na nOg, the Celtic otherworld, have opened. You're going to go in and you're trying to come back with the most amazing stories that you can tell. And then when you put them in your tableau, there's these little cards that tell you about what stories would do best and where they are and what their values are. And you start scoring points for what stories you put down, how they're arranged. If there's clumps of stories together, there's modifiers throughout the game. But what's really unique about it, what I really enjoy, if I had to encapsulate, if I had to pinpoint exactly what sets this apart, you strip away theme, even though the theme's great, strip away the art, which is awesome. It's this. It's that the first phase of the game is putting out your storytellers, your little pieces in between cards. There's a world of Tir na nOg that are all of these cards. And you are putting down your meeple to say, okay, I'm hoping to have a card that I'm touching. I'm setting myself up to benefit. There, that's a personal tableau, but look, those cards start off in Tir na nOg. And when you put your cards down, your meeples down on the cards, you're deciding one of these cards is what I want to get. But it is in reverse order that people remove their storyteller and take a card. So your best laid plans might be blown up. You have to hedge your bets at all times. So you need not only the main plan, you need the backup plan. You have to think about how you're going to lay down your cards because they have specific requirements that you're aiming for. You might be in a jam where the color isn't right or the numbers aren't right. So you need to go for something else that modifies what you're doing. Because the cards, as you can see, as you put them down, they not only have art, they might have powers on them as well. The cards, you can see, they have general colors and general numbers on them, and they modify as you go. And so it really leads to a series of turns where you're really engrossed in it. You're trying to figure out the puzzle out there, the puzzle in front of me, the puzzle I have now, the puzzle I want to solve by the end of the game. So there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. This is a game I'm super happy to be associated with. I really think, no hyperbole, anyone who gets the game is really going to love it.
Yeah, that's what intrigues me, is that both a puzzle and also the storytelling element. There's I always forget the name of that game. The one where you call of something, and you're putting the cards out that tells kind of a story about your character and all the adventures that they take. And a lot of times I don't even take the most optimal card that's going to score me points, because you really want to put the prince who worries about the future and is a good swordsman. You kind of want this story to come out when you play these cards.
Yeah,
I'm kind of getting that sense from here too.
Yeah, well, these are almost like, you can imagine like Dixit. They're kind of like images. They're a little bit open-ended. So if you wanted to like look as your cards are laid out, you could even come up with your own stories. Like you see the characters, their names. Next to that is a setting. It's not per se a story like, here's this guy went here and then this thing occurred. It's not like that. These cards you're laying out trigger cards that are to the far left that tells you what requirements you want to do to score, and the reception has been fantastic, up, down, left, and right.
And all of these are all actual places in Call to Adventure. Thanks, Dave. Boy, I could not remember the name of the game. Call to Adventure.
Is Call to Adventure the one where you like toss runes or something?
Exactly. Yeah,
I think so. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. They may try to get the meeple in other places, but here in the US of A, we can still say Meeple, right, Glenn?
Yeah. USA.
Don't bring that weak sauce to our Olympics here, our board game Olympics, because we're going to still use Meeple.
That's
on
right.
Show.
Yeah, you tell them. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, but no, and the game's been doing really good. I think it's a reprint. We're trying to get in people's hand. We set the finding goal for like $1,000, and we hit that in I think 6 minutes. Which was great. So
it's already been funded. You got almost 500 backers already for a reprint. But there's some cool things. I saw Isaac post today that it's not just about getting this game, which is very tough to get right now. But there's some other things you can get. Are you familiar with what else you can get in this Kickstarter?
Yeah, and I will also say too, the game has no advertising. This is literally just people. We haven't advertised it.
This is word of mouth, right?
Okay, well, I was going to ask because I've never heard of it until about this past week when you've been posting. A few random people have posted, and you're saying this is a reprint. How did I miss it first time?
Verla doesn't read the Gumbo blog.
We did not do any pre-advertising. We don't have any advertising going on now. This is just totally really just grassroots people coming to the thing. Now we might have marketing going forward. We'll see. Mark has managed to get himself locked out of Facebook in a few places. So we have no access to our accounts.
But I'm hearing about there's expansion modules. There's a standalone 18 card escape room game.
So Grand Gamers Guild, I'll start with the 18 card, it's in the vein of a series called Holiday Hijinks.
Oh yeah, like the turkey thing and all that stuff.
Yes, this whole line, it's incredibly successful. Really successful for us, on a company that operates on it's a small company, right? So we do a couple thousand, 1,000, 2,000 print runs. I don't know. We're way over 20,000 on the Holiday Hijinks. And I want to say at PAX Unplugged, we sold 800 copies just there.
We should always refer to him as famed board game designer, Isaac Shalev. That's his official name.
Okay. Well, and you know what?
FBGD.
Yes. And like he mentioned, finally, he's going to be known for something other than his looks, which is great,
Famed board game designer.
That's right. And modest board game designer. And so the 18 card game is in the vein of the Holiday Hijinks. And, it's more like you're in Tir-na-nog, Journey to Tir-na-nog. We have two wonderful covers for it, and we're kind of going back and forth. Do we want one that alludes to this green cover? We have another one that's white and very, evocative of the journey that you go on, and we might even put it up to a vote what we want it to look like. But the story has you going into and trying to come back from Tir-na-nog. And it has a lot of riddles. There's an app you're going to use and all this stuff. It's a whole lot of fun. But it's wholly independent from Tir-na-nog itself. It envelops the world, but you don't need it to play the base game or anything like that. There's also an expansion, which I believe we're going to be unveiling little bits here and there. I know more than some. That's all I can really say. But there
Blessings and Burdens modular expansion is what the Kickstarter says.
Yep.
So
there's 6 modules in it. And
here's your buddy Tom. I keep playing
Tom.
This game. It's so interesting to me. I am fascinated by this game.
Yeah. I love that those, sincere comments that are unprompted. I mean, we didn't even send a copy. I don't even know how it got it in front of him. So it's awesome to see stuff like that. But the expansion is 6 modules. It has many different things in it that changes the experience for people. I don't want to reveal too much because there is a plan to reveal it as we go to keep the Kickstarter exciting. I really love when people are in Kickstarters and it feels like an event. I do like
all the wooden tokens though. That's an upgrade that I can get behind.
The deluxe tokens are really, really nice. Should the funding be robust enough where we can just absorb it, we might have other wooden things.
Verla, it looks like Glenn is hiding he's hiding the expansion. I guess you're still drawing it, Glenn. Is that what it is? Are you still?
Well, yeah. I just stopped it right now, drawing it. I have my 4-year-old's crayon.
Right.
And I only, as an adult, started calling it crayon, by the way. I just called it crowns growing up.
Crowns? Crayola.
Yeah. But working on the stuff. I mean, they're great developers and artists who are working on things, behind the scenes. And I'm working a lot with somebody named Bridget. She does a ton of stuff too, and she's been so helpful, and she does a lot of the graphic design. And then we have like the artwork there by another member of the team.
I'm just fascinated by this artwork, Glenn. I'm mesmerized by this artwork.
As you should be. It's fantastic, no doubt.
So Dan has a question: does the retail version come with all these wooden fancy bits?
No.
Okay.
Nope. You have to get the deluxe version. When you go to retail, Bar's End, I want to say, is the Shalev, Slingerland, and Delicato, and Burns there. No, the retail version, you have a lot of parameters when you do that. You want to really treat the people who back you and support you early so they get the good stuff. But also when you go to retail, you have to try to hit price points and make things more accessible. Man, we've even had experiences dealing with Barnes & Noble, which is a whole nother can of worms there, But so no, if you want the wooden bits, deluxe is the way to go. And you're not going to regret it. Everyone loves it. And we have so many people asking to get the deluxe wooden upgrade bits for the game, which is going to be available in the pledge manager. And you don't need to pledge for the big box game to have access to the pledge manager after the fact, just so you know.
So 1 to 5 players, takes about 45 minutes, designed by Isaac Shalev, Jason Slingerland, and then Berenz and Indelicato are the artists, and that's Grand Gamers Guild. It's already funded, so we don't have to worry about it. This is a second printing, and you can get the extra bits, and you can get the 18 card escape room, and you can get the expansion if you hit the Kickstarter page, right?
Yep, totally. And there's a lot of good stuff happening around it. Like, people are from all over the world are talking to us about the game. So, fingers crossed, the luck of the Irish, get my Shamrock, other good things might be happening in the near future. But yeah, really, really great. If anyone has a few bucks to burn, I'm telling you, this is a great investment. Like, not only is it a great game, you're going to love seeing it on the table. It has, without the blow up expense of having minis or anything like that, the presence on the table and the look of it, you're going to find yourself just staring at those cards going, wow, and just being drawn in. It's really special. It feels good. I feel excited to talk about this game.